Okay, so today we're going to be doing polygons, which is quite a big topic, but to be honest, to start off with, it's a lot of keywords. So first thing is actually knowing what a polygon is. So a polygon is a shape with n straight sides. Now n just represents the number of sides, so it could have 4 sides, it could have 20 sides, it doesn't matter. It depends on the question, but we just say n because it could mean anything. Okay, but it has to be that they're connected with straight sides. So for example, a circle wouldn't count because obviously a circle is curved, whereas a rectangle or a pentagon would count because they're all connected with straight sides. I've written a couple of examples there, so triangle and quadrilateral, they're the main ones. Obviously, once you get from there, you'd go a bit bigger, so it'd be pentagon, hexagon, and things like that. There are 2 other parts to polygons. You've got 2 different types. You've got a regular polygon to start off with. That means that a polygon has all the same sides, or same length sides, and the angles are also the same. So the best example for that would be a square, because a square, all the sides are the same length, and also all the angles are the same, they're all 90. So yeah, that's the first type. The second type is irregular polygon, and this is just the opposite of a regular one really. It just means that all the sides and angles are different. Okay, so key is if the sides are different, then the angles are also going to be different. So that's the types of polygons. The next bit is actually knowing what the angles are in a polygon. So I've done a little diagram here, pentagon, because it's my favourite shape to draw. So starting with the x is the angle inside the actual shape, okay, and that's called an interior angle, okay, interior, a bit like inside your house, stuff like that. And then the y is called the exterior, okay, so it's not the whole thing around the interior, it's just imagine that you, rather than stop there, you carried on the line and it was the angle on that side, okay. So these are a couple of rules that you need to remember. Number 1 is the sum of the interior. So sum of interior means all the angles. So for this one, you'd have these 5 angles inside the shape. Okay, so to work out the sum, you would do n take away 2 times by 180. Now n represents the number of sides. Number of sides. Okay, so for our pentagon's got 5 sides. So we do 5, take away 2, work out what that is, and then we times that by 180. Okay, now the reason why we can do that is, this is the angles in a triangle, okay? We can split up any shape or any polygon into separate triangles. I'll do it over here. I'll try and draw another perfect pentagon. Not as great. So let's say you had a pentagon like this. This one's obviously irregular. We can split that up into different triangles. So I could put a line here and a line here. Now the lines can't cross over. Okay, they have to be separate lines. So I've split it into 1, 2, 3 separate triangles. Okay, now each one of those triangles has 180 degrees. Okay, this is where this part comes in, because I started off with 5 sides. Now if I split it up, I end up with 3 triangles, which is always 2 less than the number of sides. So if I had a 10-sided shape and I did the same thing as what I did here by splitting it up into triangles, you would also get 2 less, so you'd get 8 triangles. Okay, so it's just really clear that make sure whatever the number of sides are, you've got to take away 2 first and then times by 180. The sum of the exterior is a really easy one, so no matter what shape it is or how many sides it's got, it will always be 360 degrees, which is nice. This last one here, you don't have to remember it, but it's just a really useful rule. And if you look at the diagram, it's kind of obvious to remember as well. So one of the interiors plus one of the exteriors, so this one here plus this one here, will always be equal to 180. Because if you look at the diagram, it's on a straight line, and angles on a straight line is always equal to 180. So that's one of those rules that you should remember anyway. So it's really useful for you to remember it when you do this. Cool. Okay, so we're going to do some examples now. Okay, so this is the question that we've got. Okay, so this is a pentagon. It's told you that it's irregular. You can sort of tell by the shape that it's irregular anyway. Our job is we need to find the value of what x is. Okay, so first thing we need to do is actually work out what all these angles are going to add up to. Okay, so because it's not a four-sided shape, it's not going to be 360. Okay, so this is where we use this rule here. So n take away 2 times by 180. Okay, remember what n means. N means the number of sides. So because we've got 5 sides, we do 5 take away 2. And then we multiply that by 180. So 5 take away 2 is 3. Times them together, you can use a calculator. And you should get 540 degrees. So these 5 here are going to add up to 540 degrees. Now this little square here means it's 90, so that's a good thing to remember what a right angle is. Okay, so what we can do is if we add up the 4 that we know first, we can then just subtract that answer from 540. So if we do the adding first, so 100 plus 120 plus 90 plus 95. So you can use a calculator. Okay, and that gives us 405 degrees. So that's all those ones. Obviously we just want to find out what x is, so to do that we just do the 540, subtract the answer that we've just done, which is 135 degrees.